Everybody loves Jane. She wins with this beautiful, smooth elegance. Marco is more controversial. He's fighting tooth and nail to the line.
I wasn't actually super disappointed about NCAA. So obviously, I was gunning for the win.
At the end of the day, I don't care. I don't care who it is, what it is. I'm here for the smoke, all of it.
It feels great. I feel this season there's been a lot of growth, and I think there's still so much to build on.
For everybody, that's it. I'm not dodging nobody. I mean, I thought Brian was going to be racing.
These two athletes that I just showed could not be more different. You know, you have that quiet confidence, that humility, that grace in Jane Hedegren. And then you have this win or die mentality with Marco Langen. He's just fighting tooth and nail. He's not dominating. He was the number 1 seed for the 3,000, but virtually every race that he's done, he's dived into the finish line. He's controversial. He's polarizing. A lot of people like him. A lot of people don't. Jane, it's like most people love her. She was a complete dominant force in high school. She set every record. She set like 9 high school records. Marco was a great high school athlete, and he built a name for himself, but he was not dominating. He was not setting records. He's really had to fight to get anywhere close to the top, which now he's become one of the best NCAA runners that we have right now. But they are so different. My take right here is that we need both of them, not just one of them. I realize this is a hot take. I get it. But I firmly believe that, you know, the beauty sometimes in track and field is the different personalities that you see. It is not that you need one single person like Jane. It's not that you just need the people that are fighting and clawing their way to the top. It's the beauty of the different people that are in this sport. That's what makes this sport so beautiful. And I'm highlighting these two athletes because I think they are exactly what we need for this sport. We need Jane. We need her. She's so exciting. We haven't seen this type of dominance since Caitlin Toohey and Parker Valby. But now she's rewriting history in a way that we haven't even seen it because she just won the double at the NCAA Indoor Championship as a freshman, and that had not been done by those two athletes. She is truly rewriting what is possible in the sport. And in her post-race interviews, it's so amazing to listen to her with her grace and her gratitude and just expressing all of this kindness and how amazingly grateful she is for her coaches and her teammates. And then when you listen to Marco, it can sound quite a bit different. You know, I am a Marco fan, you know, but I feel like I'm able to see this other perspective where it is this win or die mentality. It means so much to him. And he was just upset both times in this past weekend. And we know that that meant the world to him. He has quite a story, Marco. You know, he's put out in interviews that he's fighting for not just himself, he's fighting for his family. He hasn't had the easiest go in life. He's made that well known, and he wants to fight, you know, to become a professional runner to support his family. And, you know, I think it's amazing to see what Marco is doing. And, you know, he is totally different. He does have this unshakable self-belief where people could say that he's arrogant. He has been involved in polarizing finishes like we saw where he was kind of fighting and even putting an elbow into Colton Sands. And I think a lot of people thought he was going to be disqualified in that exciting Valentine BU 3,000 meter finish. He's basically had to dive to win. Virtually most of the races this season was a dive, whereas with Jane, she was mostly out front for almost everything, especially in this past weekend in the NCAA. You know, Doris wasn't really even all that close, even though Doris is an amazing runner herself. Jane has just kind of taken this sport to a new level. And I believe that these are the two athletes that we need for this sport. And of course, there's many other amazing athletes that we need. You could name like Colin Salmon with his unbelievable kick, you know, or you could name a bunch of other people. Tavon Kitchen as an up and coming freshman who's really setting a standard for what freshmen can do as well, even though he hasn't dominated in the way that we've seen with Jane. But there's just so much excitement throughout the sport, and I wanted to highlight these two athletes here because, you know, their contrast to me is what makes this unique, and I want to watch each of them just as much, even though they couldn't be more different. I think, you know, in the case of Marco, even though he's so controversial, he's helping to elevate this sport to a new level. I don't know how many people decided to watch the NCAA championships this weekend because of Marco's exciting, abrasive, and intense post-race interviews. But I'm going to go ahead and say that I probably watched more of the NCAA championships than ever before because of Marco Langen and also because of Jane Hedegren. It's the beauty of what they're both doing, and that's what's making it worth it to me. I think sometimes in life we focus too much on putting people in a little box and deciding that someone has to be a certain way without realizing that people are unique and they're beautiful the way that they are. So these are two of my favorite athletes in the sport. I'm sure this is a hot take. I would love to hear your perspective on it, as always. And if you've made it this far in the video, I would love if you hit the like and the subscribe button. I'm trying to bring more exposure to the best sport in the world, and I will keep you guys posted. I'll catch you on the next video.